Hey guys, welcome back. We're back again watching Attack on Titan.
Woo.
Tom here.
Storm here.
Kimmy here.
We're going to be watching the third episode of season 2 on Crunchyroll. It is labeled 228. I'm saying it's 203 or 23. Yeah. And yeah, last episode really still freaked me out. I still have chills from that.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know,
so bizarre.
I'm still
It is.
hungry.
you're still hungry, Tom. Are you like Sasha? Or are you like a Titan? What's going on here?
He's totally like Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha. I'm kind of like that, but not as aggressive.
I'm a legs and thigh guy myself, but
Ew. Okay, so speaking of which, we were thinking during setup that the reason why the mom, I mean, besides being absolutely exhausted and shocked, most likely from getting eaten alive, like, she couldn't use her legs, so maybe she was paralyzed.
She couldn't feel it.
She couldn't
Yeah.
feel that. I mean, it looked like he was also eating the waist, but who knows, like, where she started to get paralyzed. Like, is it chest down? Not chest down, but, like, waist down.
Right.
Or just portions of her legs. But she was getting eaten kind of higher
yeah,
up. And
she was still kind
so
of
morbid.
traumatized by the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. And I know we've seen smaller Titans before, but not this small, where he could just fit into a house. And when Sasha was trying to cut the neck, no human could fit inside that neck when you think about it, right? Like, you couldn't be miniature size.
We've seen some small ones, just not normal proportioned ones. We've seen like
Not
ones
that
look
small.
well, we've seen mini ones that look like Angry Birds. You know, like they're just short and
Yeah.
stubby and fat.
It's so gross, but you would think that maybe a human could still fit inside. Or maybe they fuse.
They all
Maybe
come in different shapes and sizes.
they all do. So maybe if you
And who
don't
knows how young
stay...
they are too when they get in there.
Yeah, maybe you fuse with
Right.
the actual Titan where we see Aaron in his Titan form now and again, and he has the muscle all attached to his skin that eventually maybe it just fully absorbs you and then you just become one with it. But this Titan, unless you shrink, was already that size. So maybe it was a mistake where it was in mid-transformation between human and Titan, and that's why it looks more human and smaller, because I don't see how a human with a full body would fit in that thing. And then
True. Like it's
Well, it's an
human
infant.
size, and the Titan. Yeah, the Titan's the same size as the human.
just a
Seems
little bit
like
bigger.
it's the
Yeah.
dad or something like that. And the
Oh,
husband.
can you imagine?
Or
Actually,
her
that's what I thought
kid.
was going on. I thought the husband was doing experiments, like when he was feasting. I'm like, oh my god, are we going to learn more about the Titans here? Where there was a lab or something, and he tried to make himself into a Titan, and it went wrong, and he's kind of like midway or just partially way, starting to become a Titan, but he already has the instincts of one and the powers of one, and ew, I don't know, so freaking gross.
Well, at least they got out of it, and
and the
they
mom's
had to
okay.
leave the mom.
Yeah, that the
Yeah.
mom's okay. Not
The mom,
sorry.
I'm thinking is still
Father's
alive.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
thinking she's still alive, but at least the little girl's out of there.
That was horrible. And at least Sasha's father's okay. That's what I meant
Yes.
to say. So that's good, because I really thought she was going to find him dead.
Right. I thought he changed. I thought the Titan was actually her dad. I thought that was her house. Well, she said a new village, so no, but
You never know. He could have like moved into a different house or
So,
something.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sasha's story kind of turned out to be fairly decent, but Connie, on the other hand,
I know.
not looking too
The
good. And
house is
what's up with that?
gone.
Titan?
Family's gone that we know of.
Yeah.
And there's a Titan lying on top
On
of
top
the
of
house.
it
On
with
top of
many
his house
legs,
with-
The house is
limbs.
crushed. Or his family
Very
underneath it.
odd looking.
Is
Yeah.
that one of his family members?
I
Yeah,
know.
I have a feeling that it probably is going to be someone he knows. I mean, it's on his house. It's deformed, like they didn't know what they were doing when they transformed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
And
could've been
almost, the
accidental.
eyes almost look like his.
Yeah.
Mm.
The eye color in the
Yeah.
beginning. They
Yeah,
had
no, I
that
noticed
golden-
that too. Yeah, the golden eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that stood out too. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
I mean, when Aaron transformed, it was by accident the first time. So you don't know if they transformed. Maybe they got hurt or something, and that caused their transformation, but it didn't go accordingly.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
And it wasn't steaming it either. It was
Mhm.
still whole. So that thing's probably still alive, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, because it was moving, right, a little
It's
bit.
just twitching
Yeah, it
a
was
little
twitching.
bit,
The
yeah.
arms were twitching. I think it is still alive, and the ribs are sticking out or whatever, but they're really low. But it's really not in proportion, anyways. So, yeah, I feel like it's different in a bigger way.
It's all messed up.
We're just gonna see a whole bunch of different ways that
and have more
Titans
mystery
are
before we find
forming.
out. Or maybe we will find out because maybe
Concerning.
Kanye's family was involved in trying to
We're
experiment.
gonna have like a baking class on how to make a Titan.
Yo, gross. Baking class 101.
You're just
Gross.
exhausted. I ate your whole family. I have to rest here.
I know,
This is
right,
how you
nasty.
properly transform into a Titan.
You know what I think is creepy, and they're not even a Titan, is that priest. He's not
Yeah.
saying a word. He knows more than he's saying when he does.
I just want to know what
anything.
he's holding back.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, because he's
Like,
stressing a
Oh,
lot.
you thought
The
that
obvious
was
is
bad.
known,
Wait
but-
till I tell you everything else.
Like his face and how dark it gets, all the
you
lines.
want
You
to
can
know
tell
why
he's so
you're in
stressed.
there?
I know,
You
gross.
can't handle the truth.
There's a lot more that he's hiding,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's not just the Titans in the wall. Like there's a whole
Oh, yeah.
purpose behind everything that he's just not saying. So it's gonna be pretty bad, I'm sure. So shall we get into this?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Don't look at the title. 228/203. To be continued. That was intense.
Was.
That was really intense.
I
And
think the more
scary.
intense an episode is, the quicker it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it had some slow moments too, but they were good moments, and then just action packed after that. I was like, holy crap. But so that blonde girl is the key. Like, that's the only thing the priest could say, that she is under protection or something, or what's the whole idea there?
Well, it seems like, what's her name? Ymir? Is that her
Yes.
name?
Ymir.
It seems like she knows what's going on,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah.
why she's there.
And she's saying she's not there to protect her. She said that she's there for herself,
Yeah.
which made Krista feel better.
But she said, originally she said, are you here because of my family? And she said yes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's something with her family that's going on.
She knows the secrets between
Right.
the Titans. I thought she was going to turn. I thought she was going to, like, right when she looked up, Ymir, and her intense
yeah,
look, I
I
was
thought
like,
she
oh
was
god,
gonna
oh god,
be
does she have a
the
secret
Titan.
too, like Annie or
And
something? And
Yeah.
Where's the Wookiee Titan going? He's like leaving.
the Beast Titan, he's climbing the wall, and it was easy for him,
Yeah, no problem.
and calm about
different.
it. That's so freaking dangerous.
Yeah, he just. Well, are you afraid he's gonna break his leg or something?
No, it just, no, I wish he
Dangerous for everyone
would.
else, not him.
But it's just, he can easily come and go when he pleases. So it's not good. It's awful.
And it was good that, the scouts wanted, they were petrified in the dark. They had their torches on and they breathed, oh, I just wish we can see. And then the moon comes out. They see the moon. It's now all of a sudden it's moonlit. But that brought out all the Titans.
Yeah, and they
So
were
I wonder if
shocked about it.
I wonder if this Beast Titan has anything to do with it. Can control even the moon or the clouds. Something more.
Maybe, I mean, bad luck on their end that the moonlight, I don't know. I mean, it's
It was
such
too
a
quick.
mystery. And for them to be shocked and think, well, usually at night, even moonlight doesn't affect them. Usually they stay dormant, I guess. But they were really shocked by that. So I think it is the Beast Titan that's just controlling them completely. Like, they don't need the light at all. Like, he can just control them,
Yeah.
But now, going back to like the villagers that, Connie's village,
Mm-hmm.
that they're all gone. The horses are still there. There's not a trace of
Uh-huh.
blood. You have Connie's possible mother who did that transformation.
Disturbing.
Mhm.
So-
Again, welcome home.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think that maybe all the Titans that are in the wall, not in the wall, but in
That area of the
within
village.
wall,
Yeah.
could be these villagers turning. And I'm wondering if I'm going to call him Wookiee Titan because it's cool.
Okay, I'm like, no, I don't want to relate him to a Wookiee.
The Wookiee
Bigfoot.
Titan, he might have something to do with them transforming all of a sudden.
Oh,
Him being
maybe.
there.
Yeah, because the other ones are active now at night when they're never active.
And it's amazing how the Titans look like all different kinds of people. Just, morphed into a Titan. You have
Born
all types of different Titans, just like we have all different types of people.
But not even that, you like all different types of people, but then you have like huge heads, little heads, and melting heads.
Some areas are more exaggerated.
Do you think that the Wookiee Titan might be doing his own experiments? Because he's intelligent enough to do that, and he's interested in all the little things he finds.
I was curious about that, because when you were mentioning the gear before and how delicate he was with that, and he really wanted it, he seems like he would do something like that.
Yeah,
like he
very intrigued. Like he knew, okay, this is a good idea. This is a good weapon.
Yeah, like he has a purpose, and he's very confident and calm about it because he just studies everything around him.
You don't know if something simple like his saliva in the water could infect people. You know, in a way where it's like a disease that could turn these people into Titans.
Maybe.
Or something.
Right.
Or just the energy being close to him can trigger something.
Like a radiation kind of thing.
Yeah, because just how all the Titans around him are just active, that maybe he has an energy, a certain like proximity around him that just triggers that, and he can just say whatever to them, but for them to stay active, because they need a lot of energy, I guess, to move around. They need the sun's energy. So maybe he has something similar to that just activates everything around him, and even people. Maybe there's like a connection where we have a little piece of Titan in all of us, and it just gets triggered when he's around or something.
And maybe Aaron's father figured that part out.
Maybe.
Or at least
we still get to see that key in the basement with the freak, you know.
That's
like
right.
we didn't see it last season.
Mentioning it every once in a while.
Although a lot of bad things happened in between that, and they had a lot of priorities. But that is going to be hopefully a big deal when we get there.
When they're asking Aaron to plug up the hole, are they assuming there's a hole in the wall? Or are they talking about the Titan in the wall that's peeking out, cover him up again? Which hole they're trying to fill up? That's
a good question, and we know there is a hole, and I can't remember where it was, because I remember that one Titan kicked a hole at one point, and then we have that one with the face, but I thought they kind of bordered it up, but it wasn't great.
They kind of like tarped it and stuff so that...
Yeah, and I knew there was a gate that was open, that was broken open. But then...
I think that one they did with the
already
boulder.
took care of that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The boulder.
With Aaron.
But maybe they want to...
I'm thinking that they think that there's a hole in the wall, but they don't know that the other scouts were looking and they couldn't find one. So I'm thinking that they're trying to go ahead with this plan, trying to seal this hole, not knowing that there isn't a hole to seal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's an interesting idea, too, to know. I mean, as we've seen with Annie and I guess the Armored Titans, where like you can crystallize and put more armor onto yourself. But it was interesting to see that Annie's, crystallization, like it got chipped off and it didn't dissipate at all. It stayed. And for all these Titans to be in the walls, and they're not dissipating or anything over time, but they're alive. Like that one was
like
looking
that's
around.
their skin.
So that when they get the armored skin, they are even stronger. So that would make more sense, because before I was saying, why would you put flesh Titans in there? Because they won't be stronger than cement, probably blocks or anything, like more than just masonry work. I don't know. So that would make more sense, because the crystallization, like that's really strong. So having that in the walls. But why keep that a secret from the people? Like, you don't want them to be fearful, but if you give them different knowledge, like knowledge is power here, I think that would actually help them.
Well, you would think this would be more well known too, because you're trying to tell me that nobody in the past saw this thing going up.
Well, how old is it again? And maybe the...
I know, but just stories over generations, myths and rumors going around.
Right.
The legend of the walls, it's like, yeah, you have people who know what's going on, but everybody's family should have a story or a legend as to what's in the wall.
And maybe all those people became religious and ended up being in that cult or something where they were sworn to secrecy, where they can't say anything.
Everybody in the wall is an ancestor of everybody in the wall.
Yeah.
They're not outsiders.
Right.
There is no outsider.
So just because at the time they were in that sector, that cult, doesn't mean that some people branched away after generations and
Or
then
people just
they
forgot.
still knew the story.
Yeah, I mean, these things are huge.
Word would
and
still
they're
get
covering
out.
Your entire city. So these people have to be seeing these things. You can't cover up something that big.
And it was tremendous.
Yeah, so-
It was a huge,
I wouldn't
it
think
was
you
a
could.
tremendous effort to do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not just one wall. It's how many? 3?
Right. And they're massive.
Mm-hmm.
Massive, yeah.
I mean, this is a far stretch, but sometimes our histories do get lost and forgotten. And when, you know, like we have things that happen in history that are repetitive, but yet sometimes aren't learned from, or, you know, we just forget because we've been comfortable for the last, like all our lives. But that is something so huge where I would think that too, that they would have some kind of knowledge about it, or maybe it became jokes to the point where they just didn't even think that was a thing.
Well, look at like the Hoover Dam. I know it wasn't built as long as the walls were, but the Hoover Dam, you know, it's made out of concrete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a fact. I mean, someone had to have written this down, or I know they didn't have Polaroids back then, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's right.
could have had like a diary or something. You know, oh, the walls are going up, and all these titans are getting fused in there,
And how does that even happen? Like, you know, was there a controlling titan that?
they must have either somebody. I'm thinking they had another Aaron, someone that they knew that was able to do this and was powerful enough to control the other titans to do what they wanted them to do.
That was in this religious cult, if you
And
will.
maybe it is this Wookiee Titan. Maybe he's did that in the past, but he's been so alone for so long that his mind has been diluted and his thoughts have changed.
You know, I started thinking again that this whole thing, because how far into the future is this? And maybe this was like a military experiment or something gone wrong, where humans made titans as like big armored suits, kind of, you know, that they would go into in the
Power
next
Rangers.
flash. Yes, but kind of like Power Rangers and go after them. I know we kind of like talked about that before. And they actually maybe built these walls for other reasons. I mean, to protect themselves, maybe as a fail-safe if things go awry.
Make a fortress.
Yeah, and they're like, hey, well, we can use them to make armor and all that. But then other bad things like went out of control, and then they did lose everything.
And they took over.
Yeah, so they just manipulated the stories over time. And the Beast Titan that was...
Why does the religious group know the whole story and nobody else? So you would think the military would be secretive about it, but no.
I know.
And it's funny. I mean, even if you look at our histories, you know, Europe, everywhere, a religion had a lot to do with politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they coerced, you know.
Right.
Or they
So
shaped the way
this
things
could be the
went,
same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, there's just so many questions. And the freakiest thing was with
That
Connie
priest.
with the freaking, if that's his mom, welcome
Oh,
home.
yeah.
That's like so freaking bizarre.
I'm going to tell Mom not to say that to us. When we
Don't no more welcome home. No
Don't
more.
say welcome home.
Don't
Wow.
say slowly either.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
can't wait to watch the next episode. As you guys know, you can check out our Patreon and the links below if you want to see the next episode early. We have a ton of full reactions there. A lot of you have been asking us to watch 2 a week, which if we grow more on our Patreon, we will try. But right now we are more than maxed out. We love you guys, and you know, we work 7 days a week and it's hard. So love you so much, and until next time, see you very soon. Bye.
Bye. Give us a like.
Please give us a like.
Subscribe.
Like.